Transformers96 here with another review. This time I'm going to review the Transformers Masterpiece series, Sunstorm as well as Thundercracker. So before I start the review, I just want to say I am not going to be transforming these. This review is really just going to be of their robot modes. I have seen Sunstorms and have, had Sunstorm's jet mode, in hand, so I will be talking quickly about that, but I'm not going to be showing it. Just so I wanted to let you guys know, just the robot modes, won't be transforming them, and yeah, but I do definitely want to talk about them because they are some really great figures, and even though I wasn't willing to transform them, it's still something that I want to talk about. So yeah, so first of all, as you can see, the box in the back, they were both packaged very differently, as long as you got them, in the US in Toys R Us. Thundercracker was packaged in like a upside down triangle type of box where he was fully transformed and everything, whilst Sunstorm is done in the more new box where it's got some purple on it, and then it has like a strip in the middle which shows the robot mode and the vehicle mode with the exclusive little sticker. As you can see, I did not get this on full retail, which is really fantastic. I've been looking for this one at Toys R Us's and really didn't have any luck. And the first day I found it, it was on clearance for $56.90. This was a returned figure, which I was worried about because I thought that there must be something missing with it, or there's something damaged, or just loose joints or something. There must be something wrong with it, and actually there was not a single thing missing. Nothing was wrong with it, and it's got tighter joints than my Thundercracker too. So I just got really lucky, I guess. I don't know what it was, but somebody returned this, and I got it for a steal. I mean, it retails for $80 at Toys R Us, I believe, so I definitely got it for quite a bit off, which I'm very happy with, because I was willing to pay full retail for it. So yeah, so overall, I really do like the boxes, and I'm very happy that I did get Sunstorm on a discount. But yeah, so let's go into the figures. So, I did get Thundercracker quite a long time ago, back when he was in stores. I can't remember how long ago that was, but it was some time ago. And I just never reviewed him, really, because I didn't want to transform him. I don't like transforming Masterpiece figures on camera because they're difficult to transform, and I really don't want to be, messing around with them, on camera if I'm wanting to transform them for you guys, because I don't want to risk breaking anything or anything like that, which is why I just do the transformations for Hasbro toys. But with these guys, I thought that it was worth reviewing them even if I wouldn't transform them. So yeah, so most of this review will be about Sunstorm, but I will be talking a bit about Thundercracker and definitely doing some comparisons. So overall, really do like these guys. Character-wise, Thundercracker is definitely going to be a better character for most people, because in the television show, Thundercracker, Skywarp, and Starscream were the ones that were on Earth, and back on Cybertron, which you saw in a couple episodes, was Acid Storm, Sunstorm, and then there was one other, I believe it was another blue one, I can't remember his name though, and you really didn't see too much of Sunstorm. I really started liking Sunstorm when I saw the Transformers animated series. When I saw that toy, it looked nice and everything, but I wasn't too into it, wasn't too into the colors. But then when I actually saw the episode where they all had different personalities of Starscream, and Sunstorm was the kiss-ass, it was just, a really kind of funny and interesting take on the Seekers, and I really did start liking Sunstorm because of the TV show, which is why I was really looking forward to Sunstorm when they came out with this figure. Overall, the sculpt is quite beautiful. I mean, it really just completely embodies everything from the old G1 television show. It looks completely accurate and just fantastic. Really do like it. Paint-wise, on both of these are really good. I mean, a lot of people are not liking Sunstorm, more than Thundercracker or anything, because there's just a ton of yellow on him. I do think that he's a little over yellowish, but I don't think it's too bad. On the wings here, which you can definitely see a lot better in his jet mode, but he does have like this metallic yellow flame effect on it, which looks beautiful. Now, the only problem with it is, if you're not up close, you really can't tell that there's a flame effect. I wish they would make it a little bit more metallic, a little bit more brighter, so you could really stand out, and therefore it wouldn't just look like it's plain yellow everywhere on him, because he does have a really wonderful, design on him that doesn't, get justice and isn't shown as nicely that it should have been, in my opinion. I like the mixture of colors a lot on Sunstorm. As far as like on his legs, he's got a lot of different colors going on. While Thundercracker here, it's just blue and gray. You know, there's some more mixture of colors on this guy rather than this guy. As well as a big thing I didn't like about Thundercracker was his gun was just completely blue. Now that might be accurate. You know, I haven't watched one of the episodes in a while and haven't checked for that, but I didn't like that the gun was just plain blue. It looked very cheap to me. This one I like a lot better. It's yellow, but the kind of barrel of the gun is like a metallic brown almost like a copper, and then, you know, this little serrated edge up top there is also the metallic, you know, kind of copper look. Overall, I really like the guns on Sunstorm a lot better than Thundercracker. It just looks a lot better. When you come out to design of the colors, you know, I think that Thundercracker is definitely going to be one that people like a little bit more. I love the stripes on the Thundercracker's wings. I think that they look really nice and really good. You know, in this little jet area, there's some detail in there, but it's really not painted very well. While Sunstorm over here, you do get the painted inside there, which does look really nice, as well as the little engines in here are painted really differently. You know, you've got the yellow up here, and then the engines are that metallic copper, while over here they're gray with a darker gray inside, so the colors are so close that you really don't get to see those propellers. You know, they don't really pop at you, while the Sunstorms actually do pop, and they do look really nice. One thing that I'll say is that Sunstorm's fingers were like on backwards, and that wasn't just mine, because when I was watching a review to see how to transform him, they also mentioned this too. But what's going to happen is, see if I can bring it up closely. Whoa! Dropped a light. That's the first time that's ever happened in a review. But alright, so with his hands right here, as you can see, let's get you as close as I can get. Alright, so you can see how it comes out and then it kind of, you know, just rolls in, which allows this finger to be able to bend and not get stuck. And what was happening was this piece was like rotated so that it was like this, and then this piece was turned around, so when you tried to rotate it, it would kind of pop it out of its joint because it was not going the right way. So that is something that you will have to rotate, because it doesn't seem to be just like just one of the figures. It seems to be every figure is like that, so you will have to rotate those fingers most likely to get them in the right position. But once you do that, it works out perfect and looks really nice. Going over articulation is really good on these guys. One thing that's annoying with my Thundercracker, which really isn't a problem with the Sunstorm, luckily, is that when you move him, a lot of the stuff pops out. Like when you move his arm up, this piece comes up and you have to push it back down, or a lot of the times very easily this entire section will rotate, and it is just very frustrating. While on Sunstorm that is not the case, and you know, for my Thundercracker that was always how it was for Thundercracker. It wasn't like over time that happened. So on him, what they did, which seems to work really nice, is that these are very tight, like pushing on to this little cap here. And in the review that I watched, they also mentioned that, and they said that that was something that they didn't like. For me, I'm very happy with that, because it really holds this piece in place, because it's very tight on there, and just allows it to stay in place a lot better. As well as when you rotate his arm up, this piece does come up a bit, but this one seems to pop up even more sometimes. So it's definitely something that's a lot better with him, and I have to say I'm just really liking, you know, how he moves, as far as the, you know, stuff doesn't pop out like it does on my Thundercracker. But articulation is overall really nice. You've got a really interesting ratchet joint here. It's kind of like teeth, as you can see, and when you move it, it just kind of breaks it out, and then, you know, goes into place, and you do hear a little click, which is quite nice. You know, it's a way so that you can keep the arms in a stable place. They won't, you know, this joint won't become loose and the arm will slowly come down ever. You know, that'll never happen. You never have to worry about that. He has a bicep swivel. The gun is attached to the bicep swivel, but it is also on a separate ball joint, so you can really rotate it with wherever the arm is, so you can always get his gun to kind of be pointed where his arm is pointed, which is nice. He does have a double hinge elbows, which is really fantastic. Can really rotate him up. And then you do have a hinge on the wrist, which is mostly for transformation, but you can use it for some poses. Then you have a ball jointed thumb. You have ball joints you have a ball jointed index finger with a hinge at the knuckle on the index finger, and then the last 3 fingers are all attached to one, and they are on the same joint, ball joint up here with the hinge. Like I said, you will have to rotate both of these fingers on both sides, and you can, you know, fold them up to make a fist, which is really just fantastic. I really like that you can do that, as well as the wrists are on a swivel. And then, of course, there isn't any waist swivel or anything like that, which is definitely a shame, but it's not something that's a big problem. He has ratcheting thighs, which allow you to move out as far as up. You've got a bicep swivel, double hinge knees, and then as far as ankle, you really don't have anything here. I mean, this does pivot, which can help you stabilize it, as well as it does have a little hinge, but other than that, you know, there's no articulation there. So, and then the ball jointed head is on a really nice ball joint. It's on a ball joint and like a hinge, so you can kind of rotate it forward, or sorry, you can like rotate it back a bit on this hinge so that he can have his head kind of sitting back a little bit further and a little bit up, as you can see there. And then it does work really nice. He can look up quite far and look down, and everything looks really good. Overall, I like the paint on the eyes a lot. The red paint on the eyes looks really nice, as long as you can see it. The brown head for Sunstorm is a little strange to me. I don't know, just because he doesn't have a lot of brown on him, and where he does have the brown, it's metallic. And the brown on the head isn't metallic or anything, it's just kind of you know, pale brown, which I think does look a little strange, but that is not a big deal. It still looks pretty good, and overall, I really like it. When it comes to, you know, which Seeker should you get, I would just recommend going based on character and color, because they are the same figure, of course, with, you know, slight differences. I mean, you know, with this being a lot tighter than this one, and just little stuff like that. But you know, if you like Thundercracker a lot, I'd say go with Thundercracker, but if you're really impartial, or, you know, you really haven't watched the G1 show, you're more of a new collector, then I would just say go with the one that color you like. You know, if you like the blue look, if you like the yellow look, the green, you know, just whatever, I'd say just go with the color if you don't know much about the character. If you do know, you know, a lot from the characters and you've seen the old television show, then I would definitely go with a character for you. But overall, I really do like each of these figures. They do come with bases, and their bases are really nicely designed. It's almost like a Cybertronian kind of floor with a really nice Decepticon symbol. I have noticed, and it's like metallic, I have noticed that the Thundercracker base, the metallic Decepticon symbol is a little brighter, so it stands out a bit more, which is kind of nice. Then you do have a great a nameplate here. This one says Sunstorm, but they're always in a very bright silver, and it overall looks really good. You also get this tool, which is really nice and can be used to display your Sunstorm. I mean, you can just stand on this, which is typically what I do, but if you want, you can actually slide this piece in, and this piece will attach to his back there, and you will be able to put him in like a flying pose. It's very stable, it's very strong, and you really don't have to worry about you know, this bending over time or anything like that. He'll stay in perfectly. So if you do you know, want him to in a flying pose, you can absolutely do that, as well as when he's in jet mode. There's, you know, this is how you put him in over here. If you rotate it down so that this slides in on this side, and then this little piece will pop into, I believe it's around his chest in the jet mode, which can just pop in here, and then he can display the jet. Overall, really cool. Love the display options when it comes to these Masterpiece figures. They really have just got it down pat, and it's just perfect. The jet mode I really do love. I think that it just looks really fantastic, I have to say. I've never transformed Thundercracker in jet mode because he came packaged in robot mode, but Sunstorm did come packaged in jet mode, so I had to transform him into robot mode, and he did look fantastic in the jet mode. I really had a lot of fun messing around with it before I did that, before I transformed him. He also comes with these two little items. You do get like a little hologram person, I guess. Oops. I really don't like the one that comes with Sunstorm because it's just like a plain yellow. It looks a little strange. While the one that comes with Thundercracker is all chrome. I think it looks really good. I don't see why this couldn't have all been chrome as well. I think it would have looked a lot better. You also do get this clip. This clip can store at the bottom of the base so that you don't lose it as well, which I think is a really clever thing to do so that, you know, collectors aren't losing their accessories. And they do come with some missile pods that can be attached to the back. I like them to the back because they do hang off of the wings a bit, so you can, you know, see them from the front. You can see that they've got some weapons on their back. It does look quite nice, and I really do like that. Overall, these are great figures. I really do like the Seekers. If I'm not mistaken, they did make Skywarp, but they made him in the old mold for the Seekers, and I don't believe that they've made him for the new mold. I really hope that they do that eventually. I believe that they have done Starscream in the new mold, but it's not been released to the US yet. You know, it takes so long for, you know, Hasbro to get them before or after Dakara does, so hopefully we'll get that soon. I am a little disappointed that I didn't pick up Acid Storm. I wasn't liking his colors, and, you know, I didn't have a, you know, there wasn't like a release date for Sunstorm yet, so all I had was Thundercracker, and, you know, I'm not too into Acid Storm, but after having these two, I would definitely love Acid Storm to go with my collection. But yeah, hopefully that they do some more of the Seekers in these in this new mold, because it is a really beautiful mold, and you get a lot of fun stuff with it. So there you go, some great figures. Like I said, pick which ones you want based on both the color and character. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching.